Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kavinsky's Tutorials. Today I'm looking at Virsyn's new synth, AddStation. It's an additive synth, and don't let this initially very simple looking page put you off because there's a hell of a lot of different stuff to explore here. I have 3 copies of this app to give away in today's video. This is going to be part 1. In a few days or whenever I'm ready, I'm going to do part 2 when I understand it better and go into some things in more detail because this is a very deep app. So 3 copies to give away today, 2 copies to give away in the next video. Look at the pinned comment at the top of the YouTube comments to see the details of what you need to do to win one of those copies. Thanks to Virsyn for providing those. So in today's video, I'm going to first shut up and let you hear this damn thing. So I'm going to do that in like literally 30 seconds. I'm going to run through a bunch of presets and then I'm going to go through just a little bit of an overview of the app and the FX section as well, which is over here. Okay, and then in part 2 I'll go into stuff in more detail. All right, so sit back, have a nice chill, and listen as I quietly go through a bunch of presets. There are a lot of presets here. I won't go through everything, but I'll go through quite a few. Okay, now I'm going to play the pad sounds just with the keyboard. Let me do the experimental ones actually with this. Well, listen, what do you think? I mean, I think this sounds bloody incredible. Okay, definitely some pretty experimental stuff there. No question about it. This thing sounds really unbelievable. I love it. Love it. All right. So play these with Velocity keyboard. I'll say one thing, this really needs, in my opinion anyway, a forward and backward button to easily scroll through presets. That is something I would really like to see added. I really like some of these ones that have these kind of formant-like sounds, really sound like human voice. It's very on trend, isn't it? This is very nice. I would love it if this was MPE. I mean, I'm able to do individual note pitch bends here in Velocity Keyboard, but if I pitch bend one note here, it's going to bring the other one with it. This would be really great if it was MPE. I was chatting to the developers today online, and they are interested in making some of their synths MPE, so maybe at some point it will become MPE. That would be great. Okay, so I think I've played enough presets to give you an idea of what this can sound like, and it can sound extremely varied, and it sounds very, very rich, very rich. Now, one thing is, if you're playing this in AUM, you're going to be at a disadvantage compared to the standalone if you are using AUM's inbuilt keyboard, because the keyboard doesn't have any mod wheel, right? But that is one thing that is good about Velocity Keyboard, and that's why I'm using it in Velocity Keyboard here. In the standalone app, it has its own keyboard, and every single key you can modulate by playing on the Y-axis. So I'm not going to go in and show you in the standalone app, but basically you can set up Velocity Keyboard to do that. So to do that, I just go into Velocity Keyboard settings, Y coordinate CC1, and then you can see that here, you hear that modulation I'm getting. That's exactly the same as I would get playing an external keyboard and manipulating the mod wheel, but here I can do it per note. Just by sliding up here. I'll show you with the mouse. So that's great. So Velocity Keyboard to the rescue. Love this little keyboard. Okay, let's take a look. Now, one more thing I want to mention. This does not have its parameters exposed. I mean, it's got things here, but they don't do anything. So again, I asked Virsyn about this, and they said that exposing the parameters is something they are totally, it is a top priority. So hopefully that will come very, very soon. I did tell them that it's incredibly important to me. It's incredibly important to a lot of people in the Audiobus forum, because you can't, modulate it with external LFOs and things like that if the parameters are not modulated. So very, very much hope that that comes extremely soon. Okay, but they did say it is really, really a top priority. More of a priority than the velocity and reslice, which I mentioned to them. So I do have a feeling that the parameters are coming soon. If they're not, I'm going to be on Virsyn's back, because I badly want the parameters to be exposed. Okay, so let's look here at how things work inside this. So here we have our presets, and as you can see, they're organized by types. And you'll notice that it has analog, so it's an additive synth, but as you can see, I mean, this sounds completely different from, for example, Audio Damage Phosphor. That I like, by the way. Some people don't like it, they think it's too metallic and so on. So there was some discussion in the Audiobus forum today about this synth before people had heard it. You know, is it going to sound like that? Is it going to be very tinny, metallic sounding? As you can hear, no. It's got a really wide range of sounds. It sounds incredible. Okay, so preset menu there. Now, here we have a bunch of different views. So basically, let's look at a different preset to explain this. Try and find one that has, let me go out of pad sounds maybe. I want to find one that has more blocks in it. Okay, there we go, right. Oh. Okay, so every preset is made of what are called parts, and those correspond to voices in an analog synth. So basically we could say that this is like a 2-voice analog synth, and each part here has 4 blocks, and when we play it, excuse me, you can see here that if we're using the mod wheel or in the standalone app, just by moving up on any of the keys, we can move between the different blocks. So basically it's like a sequence type thing. So we have a bunch of different blocks that are sequenced together, and we can move through those with the mod wheel or y-axis control. So that's great. I mean, you know, even just by playing one key, you have a lot of expression. And even though this is not yet, anyway, an MPE synth, it is very expressive. So I really like that. Now here we have this loop thing, which apparently controls how the sequence runs. But I'm not really seeing that doing anything, because when I go up on the mod, it's still going up to here. It's not getting cut off here. So maybe I don't understand that. I'm not sure. So maybe I'll come back to that in the next video. It seems to me like that loop thing is not working, but I'm probably wrong about that. Okay, so then the next level of control we have here is level. So we can go in and adjust individually the level for each block in each part. So let's see. For example, let's say we wanted... Let's say we just wanted it to get quieter towards the end. And let's say we only wanted to do that on this part, then we could just drag those down a little bit. And the later part of the sequence will be quieter. See, here we're getting nothing. So that's giving you a lot of control. That's very cool. And pitch. So we can see here, this one is pitched up. And we could pitch it down. This is pitched down. There's so much control in this synth. I think, I think that this synth should really be loved by a lot of people, because it has, seriously a ton of presets. But if you're someone who likes going in and making your own presets, there's a lot to play with here. It's really cool. Okay, now, if we click on a block, we then go into this view. So here we have block view and a part view. So the part view will correspond to that first row, the row on the top that I just clicked on the first block in. And this will correspond to that particular block. And here we can adjust the harmonics. And so we just basically do that by dragging. Like here I'm adding more harmonics. And then I'm clearing them. We have a choice of what kind of harmonics we add. So if I click on this, we'll just get even harmonics. If I click on this, we'll just get odd harmonics. So now you see if I click here, right now it's adding in the odd ones. Brilliant. Oh, well, let's just click back and get that preset back. Okay. So, I mean, remember, this is just for that particular block. So there's a lot of complexity here, I think, in designing patches for this. Here we're controlling the pan. Again, that's just doing the odd ones there, so I could go over it again with even. So that's the pan, frequency, by the way, there seems to be I hope it's a bug anyway, I hope it's not by design, but in the standalone app, there's a dice here that you can use to randomize things, and you can use these to control the extent of the randomization. In the audio unit, at least in AUM, it's completely missing the dice. I asked Virsyn about that, but at the time of making this video, I still hadn't had a reply from them about that particular point. I'll just look in here, see if I've had a reply since. No. So, yeah, I hope that that gets fixed, because definitely I would like to see the ability to randomize in the audio unit. Okay, you can control the attack and decay. These are things that I'll maybe go into in more detail in the next video. The filter. Filtering basically works by attenuating the level of different frequencies. And in here again, we can choose different frequencies for noise. So these are things that I'll look at next time when I understand it better and I've played around with it more. In the parts section, we are controlling different things like level, pitch modulation, filter modulation, noise modulation, the sequencing, and arpeggiator. So you can arpeggiate the different parts. So think four different parts can all be arpeggiated differently. So again, this is something that I'll look at hopefully in the next video. And so today, the last thing I want to look at is the FX. So let's just crack open another preset. So let's get one. Let's see what'll be a good one. Let's get something kind of plucky sounding maybe. That'll be nice to check out a bit of delay and stuff on. So I like this. Give me a ping one. Right. Okay, this one should be pretty nice for trying out the delay and things. Okay. Still getting used to this interface. All right. So I'm not going to go into every knob here. Come on. You know what dry and wet is, level. I'm sure you can imagine these things. Let's just have a listen to some stuff. So we click it on by going here. So here we can drive the input. Make it a bit hotter. And there are different drive types here. Hard drive, soft, tape drive, tube drive. These sound really nice, really nice. Let me give it a bit more. What I also like is you can see here that these controls popped up when I touched the knob here. So if I go over to the EQ, different things will pop up here. So this is a really good interface, actually. I really like how they do that. Just need to remember to turn them on each time. Okay, so EQ, low gain, high gain, you control the frequencies, low frequency, high frequency, mid frequency, the resonance for the mid frequency, gain, and so on. Phaser, okay, let's hear that. Get something with a longer sound for this maybe. Let's pop out, let's get a trumpet maybe. Okay. Okay, so got a phaser. Let's just play with the EQ here for a second. This doesn't have much low, so let's try the high. Right, so you can just use all this to dial in the exact sound you're looking for. Flanger. So obviously, you know, you might want to go back to the EQ as you play with things here. You might have more need for the EQ, need to tweak things a little bit. Okay, let's try the delay on something more plucky. So let's just go back to that one. Give me a ping. Got the delay already. So again, click on delay and then this will open up here. So we can sync it. We can also, this cross, this will send, I think, the feedback from the left side to the right side when it comes back in and vice versa. If you remember from my recent video on Mela, it also does that. Turned up a little. Turn up the feedback. Cut off. Nice. Okay, chorus. Let's change sound. Let's go to some keys. Let's take the piano, for example. Or let's take the Rhodes. Okay. There's our chorus. And again, a bunch of controls down here. Depth, feedback, delay, spread, and so on. Okay, and finally, let's look at the reverb. The reverb is on already. I have a tone booster's reverb on over here as well. So let's see. Not very much though, only a little bit. Okay. No, that's a lot of reverb, obviously. Just want to let you hear what it is like when it's turned up. And again, we've got a bunch of controls here. So, I'm going to leave it there for today's video, everybody. I think at this point you have a very good idea what this sounds like, and you can see that it's very tweakable, it's deep, but it also has a lot of presets. If you just want to play presets and you don't want to mess around with stuff, there's tons there. Really nice variety of sounds. As I say though, couple of things, yeah, like getting the parameters exposed, that would be good, and whatever, a couple of those other little things that I mentioned. Would definitely like to see left and right buttons to make it easier to move through presets here. And the randomize, we really need to get this randomization in the audio unit. But hopefully all of those things are coming. Even despite those few little current drawbacks, you've got to remember as well that this is on an intro price. It's cheaper than half price at the moment. And to be honest, even if none of those things ever came, even though I love automation, I would still think this is worth getting just because it sounds so good. So don't forget, there's going to be part 2 coming. I'll go into things in more detail there. And everybody, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment, blah, blah, blah. But, these things really do make a difference. It's a lot of work making these videos. So, thank you, and see you in the next video. Cheers, folks.